Good Monday morning, folks. I'm your host, BKP. I got my hat here. Vote Trump 2020 Perfect Vision. Wow, do we have, what do they call it? Do we have a lot to unpack? We got a lot to go through. Man, since Friday, everything is happening, spinning out of control. Take that out of my ear, friend. Want to welcome Lonnie. Some of you that are, if you're new to the show, Josh produces the show, but Josh is down in Orlando, right, Lonnie? Is that where, that's where the Braves spring training is, Orlando. So Josh is down in Orlando with the Braves for 2 or 3 days and having a good time down there. He never misses every year, so we wish him well. And for those of you that have been around the show for quite some time, Lonnie's driving the ship today. Lonnie, let's tell them how they can get in touch with the show first and foremost. You can always contact our show, 706-889-9700. And chief@fetchernews.com. There you go, right there. And there's all the ways you can follow us on social media. Now, that being said, let's get started this morning. What do we start with first? Now, let me make a statement first, starting out this Monday morning. If you're not new to the show, you'll remember last Thursday, okay? Last Thursday, I told you here on the show. Now, we do the show from Blue Ridge on Friday, and you heard what we discussed on the All-Star Political Panel on our show Friday. But last Thursday, I told you here on the show that I was not happy, and I remain that way. I did not like anything about it, and I still feel that way, of the president signing that 1,100-page piece of absolute garbage. I cringe at the thought that that happened. But what did I tell you Thursday? Here is the quote. I said, I promise I will be back Monday morning to support my president. And of all days, President's Day, I am here to support the President of the United States. I still support the President of the United States. And let me just say this before we really get this ball rolling. And let me say this. I dislike Ann Coulter. I know, I guess somebody could say to me, well, you would love to have all the Twitter followers she has. You would love when you make a comment, all the networks to cover it. You would love to be a guest on all the big shows that she's on every day. Well, you know what? I get so tired of self-promotion and sensationalizing things just for that reason. I get so tired with people, and Ann Coulter is one of those. Now, I don't appreciate myself as a Trump supporter in some of the things, and I'm just going to go through a couple, okay? So let's go to number one. We're going to go here. Now, I'm going to explain Ann Coulter, February 15th the other day. This is not Paul Ryan's fault. It's not Mitch McConnell's fault. Trump ran against the GOP and won. Responsibility is 100% his. I disagree, okay? So we'll say that. Now, I'm not going to get into all the nasty tweets. Let's go with number 2 that she put out, okay? Number 2, she put out, Trump will be declaring a national emergency before or after he signs that executive order on anchor babies. All right? And then number 3, and see, I said this Friday, I said it Thursday. Now, the polling numbers, right, the polling numbers, 38% is a lock, right? What do they say? Trump, and let's leave this up for a minute, okay? 38% is a lock for Trump. I mean, nothing could divide that. And Joe Scarborough and Minka and Jim Acosta and all the Jake Tapper and Anderson 360 Cooper and, anybody and everybody on MSNBC, CBS, George Stephanopoulos, Scott Pelley, right? List goes on. They have done everything in the last 2 years, the deep state media, every possible thing they can to get into the base, okay? They feel they can manipulate the 55 to 60%. That's what they think. But the base is where they got to crack. If they could separate Trump from his base. Now, what did I say? Because we're going to see. Time will tell, all right? But what did I say Thursday, and what did I say Friday, and what did I say back to Thursday that concerned me? And I put a tweet out, and I got some negative pushback on my tweet. I do think this is the one thing that is separating. I don't know if it's 3%, 4%, 6%. I don't know if it's 4%. But this is one thing that I think there's a percentage, and there's a couple out there that is separating the base. And it concerns me. It really concerns me when somebody like an Ann Coulter that is self-promoting, sensationalizing a situation, all for her personal gain, calls me stupid. Okay, and you. The goal is to get Trump's stupidest voters to say he's fighting. No, he's not. If he signs this bill, it's over. If he signs this bill, it's over. Let me tell you another thing, Ann Coulter, while I have you. Hopefully this will go to her. Let me tell you another thing. It's over. First of all, I accepted when Donald Trump ran for president of the United States that he is not the Messiah. I was very clear on that, okay? I was very clear that he wasn't the chosen one sent down from heaven above through virgin birth to save our country. I was very clear on that. Now, for some, if you were not clear on that, you got a problem. I was very clear on from the time Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act and the creature of Jekyll Island. I was very clear before Trump took office the status we have with our national debt. I was very clear on that. I was very clear on what happened, okay, when George W. Bush gave the American people 12 minutes and 43 seconds and said if we don't give King Henry Paulson, Hank Paulson, Treasury Secretary, $800 billion immediately, the financial world will collapse and the luxuries as we know it as the American people will end. I was very clear on that. I was very clear that when Obama came into the White House what the economic situation was at that time. Very clear. Very clear on the quantitative easing. Very clear on cash for clunkers. Very clear on the illegal. The illegal. Just think if the media would have spent as much time on the illegal bankruptcy of General Motors that did not go with the bankruptcy law where they put the unions, stockholders in front of the bondholders. Very illegal. I was very clear on that. I was very clear on what happened with bailing out the auto industries. So that being said, I was very clear when Trump became president of the United States that one man and one man alone could not turn this behemoth around that we call the federal government now. I was very clear on that and have never lost that clarity. So Ann Coulter, don't call me stupid because you know what? He signed the thing. I don't like it. Stupidest voter says he's fighting. All right, he's fighting. Number 4. No, the goal of a national emergency is for Trump to scam the stupidest people in his base for 2 more years. Scam the stupidest people in his base for 2 more years. Now, surely a lot of people are booking Ann Coulter on their TV shows and their radio shows, and she is just, you know, she says she doesn't blame Paul Ryan or Mitch McConnell. As I said, I am very clear. I support the President of the United States today. I support him today. I'm upset over what took place last week. But let me just say this. We have a guest coming up at 8:30. We're going to talk about this deal. We're going to talk about probably a three-legged stool here. We're going to talk about the president signing this 1,100-page disaster spending bill. We're going to talk about the national emergency that was declared. And then we're going to talk about immigration illegal immigration in Georgia. We have a guest. His name is D.A. King. D.A. is a nationally recognized author on immigration and president of the Dustin Inman Society and publisher of the immigrationpoliticsgeorgia.com. He is going to be with us at 8:30, and we're going to really get in depth into immigration, especially in Georgia, and what he thinks about the president signing this spending bill to keep the government open. And all right, let's go to, because before I get to my guest, let's go to this. We watched number 6. We watched. Oh no, Lonnie. Let me go. Let me lighten things up first, okay? I mean, I've waited for 24 hours. How? I mean, I cannot. When I tell you, Lonnie, you put up number 22. All right. Get ready. Number 22. How can I move past number 22? The wiener is out. I'm sorry. I know. Like, I really had to do that. Anthony Weiner released from prison. The wiener is out. The wiener is on the loose. I have to do that, man. It's 6th grade humor. I have to do it. But the interesting thing is the wiener's out of prison, and his, is it ex-wife now? Uma Abedin. Remember that computer that Uma was sending stuff home to Anthony right there, and Anthony had all of that, all of that classified emails on, and he didn't have the security clearance because at that time he's in trouble for being the wiener, and Uma Abedin sending State Department work home and classified information to that computer. And remember, that computer was confiscated. And remember, sources say that the NYPD was ready to break a story and said, hey, Comey, FBI, you break this story or we break this story. Remember that? Just rumors out there. Remember all that? That was nowhere near. Number 6, a concern for this guy. See, McCabe and the FBI, that was not a concern, that Uma Abedin sending the stuff home. And this is just one thing whatsoever. So how many of you last night watched Andrew's 60 Minute? And here's the one, here's something that cracks me up. Go to number 7. What's his name? Scott Pelley with CBS 60 Minutes. Look at his face. I mean, he was taken back. I mean, he's asking McCabe questions, and he's like, oh my God, in my entire career, do you mean the president may be in the league with Russia? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're telling us? Really? They are stunned. If memory serves me right, all they may end up with, okay, and we'll get deeper into this after our 8:30, after our guest, okay, but if memory serves me right, all they really have, and this is, let's see if I can get the picture up here I'm looking for, Lonnie, give me number 39, all right. If right now, all they basically really have where the president's concerned is a letter of intent to Russia, okay? A letter of intent saying we may be interested in building a Trump Tower in Moscow. We just like to send this letter, this formal letter, saying that we have interest in that. And that has run the Democrats over the cliff, the intent to do business in Moscow. And this guy right here, in his report, we don't know what's coming up out of his report or if there will be special counsel Robert Mueller, any information where that's concerned. But this guy here, McCabe, give me number 24. He goes on 60 Minutes. McCabe detailed Rosenstein offered to wear a wire. And let's go to number 25. And this is Rod Rosenstein right there. The acting deputy attorney general, deputy attorney general under Beauregard, Jeff Sessions, and he is the one that recommended a special counsel. So we have McCabe, we have Rod Rosenstein. They discussed the 25th Amendment, a coup, which is removing the President of the United States from office, okay? And Rosenstein offered, McCabe said it wasn't a joke, to wear a wire because when he went in the White House, nobody patted him down, all right? Seriously, all this was taking place, but yet this guy had everything to do with, after they fired James Comey, this guy that was going to wear a wire appointed number 39, Robert Mueller. So remember the timeline. Trump fires James Comey. Now, McCabe makes a big deal to Scott Pelley. Should I discuss that with Scott Pelley without doing this? Okay. I'll keep going like this, like Scott Pelley on CBS 60 Minutes. But, McCabe claimed they made a big deal over, Comey being out west somewhere with the American taxpayer money jet, the FBI's jet and entourage, when he got fired, that, who told him he could ride home, okay? The first thought I had when James Comey got fired was like, who the hell told him he could ride the plane back? Get a commercial flight, dude. You are no longer with the federal government. See, they're making a big deal, all right? They're making a big deal out of Trump. Listen to this very, very close, okay? Let's go back to number 6, McCabe. I want you to pay attention to this. They're making an enormous deal over the President of the United States saying to McCabe, why did Comey get to ride the FBI jet back? And they're like, really? You fire the guy and you won't give him a ride home? This is not just any plane. This is not just any group that's getting on that plane. Okay? This is not. This is the FBI plane with every little FBI Inspector Gadget thing on the plane, number one. Still access to, you go into the FBI. There's no way the director of the FBI gets on a plane, especially the one that he's using, that he cannot access FBI files, all the above. I mean, sometimes when you release somebody, you walk them to the door. It sounds cruel, but you walk them to the door. You don't let them go in their office or nothing. So they're making a big deal that Trump said, hey, who told this guy he could ride the plane home? And when he gets home, can he come back to headquarters? No, he'll go home and we'll send our stuff over. The reason being is, send the guy over, take a commercial flight. You don't work here anymore. Because he got on the plane, flew back to D.C. from, I think, out west somewhere. So let's just say 3 hours. the group that he had with him with the FBI, right? He was able to guarantee you, even though he no longer had security clearance and was the head of the FBI, he had 3 hours possibly to go through some files and forward them to the House. I don't know. Just saying. He had 3 hours to game plan with the group on the plane. Look, when you get home, here's what direction I'm going. We need to be in unison. Whatever. You don't let the guy on the plane, and they're making it a big deal that Trump was like a bully. Oh, he can't ride in a car. Hell no, that's not what happened, folks. All right, so here's the thing. Rod Rosenstein. All right, this guy here, okay. Comey's fired. This guy here is now acting director of the FBI. He is meeting with this guy, Rod Rosenstein, okay, number 25, all right? He's meeting with this guy here talking about wearing a wire and invoking the 25th Amendment. So what they're going to do is they're going to put an investigation together that nobody can get out of. And so this guy, all right, he advocates for a special counsel. All right, Jeff Sessions, you wonder why Jeff Sessions is always, you know, the president was always so angry with Jeff Sessions. It's because he let this guy that we now find out with Andrew McCabe and others wanted to wear a wire, okay, wanted to enact the 25th Amendment on the President of the United States, and we let this guy come out and say there should be a special counsel. We let this guy write the parameters. Just anything goes. Anything in the special counsel you want to look at, you have no parameters. Go for it. Do it, okay? Basically, but we don't know. This guy is trying to wear a wire to corner the President of the United States. He appoints none other than number 39, former director of the FBI, Rob Mueller, okay? And now today we're wondering what number 38, there he is, the new Attorney General of the United States, William Barr. William Barr is friends with number 39, Robert Mueller. 38. So what do you say today? WWBD, what would Barr do? Because that's what we're waiting to see in the Department of Justice, what the new Attorney General of the United States, William Barr, does in the case of all of this corruption of the deep state. So let's see what that investigation comes through. Before we go to break, it's not going to be long. All right, let me go to number 26, because we're going to build on this after the break. Once we talk about immigration with Mr. King, D.A. King, my guest at 8:30, we will go into the 9 o'clock hour further in the discussion on immigration, and then wrap up some other things. CBS puts up McCabe, Trump's own words prompted FBI probes. No, it did not. Now, you sit there and you watch Scott Pelley, I'll show you in a minute, look amazed and shocked at what he was hearing. Do you think if 60 Minutes, do you think if the media would be as amazed and shocked as Carlos Danger there, the wiener, having classified information on his laptop sent by his wife through the State Department? Will you think they would sit there as shocked after they find out Bill Clinton took $500,000 to give a speech in Moscow or give a speech from the Russians, well, whatever? Would they be sitting there shocked when they find out how many hundreds of millions of dollars that flowed through the Clinton, oh, I've lost my train of thought on there. The Clinton Foundation, their charity, the Clinton Foundation, when they had millions going through from the Russian government, nobody seemed to be shocked and taken back. The real collusion, which we all know, is the Democrats and many of the House it sent it Republican and Democrats with Russia. So McCabe says Trump's own words prompted FBI, and here are the things that Andrew McCabe said are the reasons. The events considered before launching Trump's probe. Trump asked Comey to drop Flynn's investigation. Okay. Trump asked Rosenstein to include Russia in Comey's firing memo. Rosenstein did not. Trump firing Comey. That was big to them. Trump comments on NBC linking Comey firing to Russian probe. Trump telling Russian officials firing Comey relieved great pressure. Those were the reasons for a coup, according to them. Okay, coming up on my break, I got to take it actually now. I do want to say this. Let's go to number 27. Smollett. All you got to do is say black, gay man, stage an attack. Swear it was two guys wearing a Make America Great Again hat, and the media loved it. We're going to get into that today. And then the last one before my break. Sorry, I got to get this one here because, oh man, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? I do want this one out. Darn, I thought I had it. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I don't. But Schultz, okay. Schultz says, number 15. Howard Schultz challenged to Democrats, nominate a centrist for president and I'll abandon my independent campaign. Wonder. After he got the CNN town hall that CNN gives free to all of these people, after he got all of the interviews, after he got this massive amount of media, free media, making it look like he was going to be the spoiler. But guess what? It's been nothing more than a book tour. A book tour. America has turned into a book tour. That's what the guy did. Self-promoting is what our problem is in this country, at the risk of our country. A book deal. Guess who has a book deal, starts the tour today? Andrew McCabe. You know, Andrew McCabe said, I'm a lifelong Republican. I've always been a Republican. I got to go to break. We'll be back on the other side with our guest, D.A. King.